Good morning. It's 5:34. I just took my morning meds. I have to take them every 6 hours. It's really painful to swallow, but it's bearable. I noticed that when my meds wear off, I start getting a headache. Right now I feel like my neck is swollen. When I do this, I feel like it's tender. And also, for whatever reason, my stomach is sore, like I've been laughing a lot, or like I've been coughing a lot, which is weird to me. I slept on and off through the night, but I woke up like every 2 to 3 hours. So I feel like I got a decent amount of sleep, but I didn't sleep as well as I was hoping. But I know it could have been a lot worse because I see people that they didn't get to sleep at all through the night. I was able to sleep with the fan on. It didn't irritate my throat. And I can feel, this is be gross, I can feel the scabs in the back, and I feel like I can taste that it's making my breath stink, which is supposed to be normal, thank goodness. Because up until the scabs fall off, I think you're supposed to get bad breath. I think later on I want to see if I can find some toothpaste that's unflavored so that I can brush my teeth, because I have a feeling the mint is going to irritate my throat. Cold water kind of hurts my throat, so when I drink water I have to hold it in my mouth and get it warm again, and it's easier to swallow. So far so good. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that last night I threw up my soup. Sam made me soup because I was hungry. I couldn't sleep because I was hungry and my stomach kept growling. So he made me some soup and I ate it, and then all of a sudden I just got like really nauseous and I just threw it all up along with my Jello. So luckily there was still some soup left in the pan, so I finished that. And I tried to go back to sleep again, but I was still hungry. But I didn't want to like bother him because I don't want to be a big baby during this whole process. So luckily my mom and my sisters were eating, and they called Sam and wanted to know if I wanted anything. So they brought me some mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. So I ate the macaroni and cheese and I put the mashed potatoes away for today. So I feel like as long as, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, we'll find out as the days go by. As long as I'm taking my meds, swallowing and drinking and eating is more bearable, because as the meds wear off and my headache comes back, that's when it hurts. Duh. Good morning again. It's been about 3 hours since I took my meds the last time I vlogged. Still chugging along. I noticed that I'm starting to feel some pain right in this area. Apparently there's a nerve through there. So Seb's getting some ice for me. Probably just gonna go back to sleep. I honestly didn't think that I would need to sleep so much during this, because I thought that, well, it's just in this area. I'm not sick. Like, I don't have the flu or the cold or whatever. But these meds knock me out. Like, I'm glad that I'm getting to sleep, but once I feel like I want to do something, that's when it's time to take my meds again, and it just starts all over. I get sleepy and loopy and stuff like that. I did notice that my balance is off a little bit, probably because of the equilibrium in my ears and stuff. And then I have a bruise where my IV was. I think as the day goes on and I feel like I want to move around more, I'm probably gonna talk about how it was going into the operating room and stuff, because surprisingly I wasn't nervous and I thought I would be. But I'll talk about that later. When I was little, my grandpa used to buy Otter Pops. So when we went shopping the other day, we saw some. They were like $6, and we saw popsicles for like $3, so we bought these ones. But I saw those Otter Pops and I remembered my grandpa. And so yesterday when they were discharging me, they gave me a couple Otter Pops as I was waking up from the anesthesia. And I was saying, are these Otter Pops? I was saying that. And the guy goes, yeah. He's like, those are the best ones. And then I said, they remind me of my grandpa. And it didn't make sense to him. But Sam was kind of smiling about it. Because, I don't know, it just brought back memories of my grandpa, even though I was in such a weird loopy state. But these are good. I like the blue ones. I took a shower and I feel much better. I feel like a shower helps lift your spirits because I felt gross. I felt like I smelled gross. And so, yeah, a shower definitely helped. I'm gonna go downstairs and have a fudgesicle because my medicine, believe it or not, is already starting to kick in. And I took my meds. That's why I'm telling you this. I'm not supposed to be clearing my throat or coughing, but sometimes I just have to. And Sam's cute because he doesn't want to eat food in front of me. So he keeps coming up. He says, is it okay if I eat something? And I'm like, I don't really have much of an appetite, so I go for it. So he's downstairs eating, and unless it's like soft foods like mashed potatoes, then that's when I'm like eyeing it. But he doesn't have anything to worry about. Pally's gonna see my tonsils.
Aww, poor butt face. Your tongue's kind of in the way, but it looks. Ugh.
Huh?
Oh, ouch. Okay.
We took a chance and came to OG. We all pretty much got the same thing though, huh? This feels good on my throat. So Alina ate 4 bowls of pasta. I talked a lot of crap, but I didn't even finish my first entree. Pally had 3. Squirrely, how many did you have? 2. Mom only had her 1 entree. Oh, check out my... I talked a lot of crap.
Check out my boobs.
And my this. Pally's getting gas. Mom and Lena are going to the restroom really quick before they get on the road. And it's just me. Sam went home. We came in separate vehicles. I barely eat anything at Olive Garden. Just poopy because I love Olive Garden. I didn't even finish my soup. I like probably barely half. And then for my entree, I probably ate like half. Drank a lot of water though. The pain right now, I would say, is like maybe a 5 or a 6. It's bearable. I will say that it's bearable. I don't know if it's because of my meds. It's 5 o'clock and I need to take my meds at 6, so my meds are wearing off. I had fun. I'm really glad my mom and my sisters came out. And they come out for the next 2 weeks. This week later on and then the next week later on. So I get to see them. I'm excited about that. I figured out that I need to exercise my jaw because I've just been talking like this because it hurts to open it. And I noticed that my saliva is like more sticky than normal, which grosses me out because like I don't like seeing spit strings. But whatever, what can you do? So they're gonna get back on the road right now. It's a little past 5, I think I said that. And I need to take my meds. I'm gonna drink some tea with melatonin, that sleepy time tea, so that I can go to sleep a lot longer today. And then Sam has to work tomorrow, so I'm on my own tomorrow, which I'll be fine. I know I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. My mom and Phoebe are best friends.
Oh man, what's that place called over right across from the middle school? Old middle school.
Oh. Yeah.
Best friends.
You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Are you talking about the building that sits by itself?
Yeah.
There used to be a band room.
No, that one.
There they go. Bye. And then there were 2. So I'm petering out. I'm starting to get ready for bed. The sun hasn't gone down completely, but I can feel myself getting tired. And I'm gonna try my best to brush my teeth again. But I had a lot of fun today. I'm glad my sisters got me out. Day 2, I know the next couple of days it's supposed to get worse. I don't know how worse, but everybody, that's their every video that I've watched, they said that like days 3, 4, 5, and even 6 can be worse because that's when the scabs come off. So I guess we'll see what's going on tomorrow. Gotta take my meds and that'll knock me out. So I have crap in my teeth right now, so try to brush my teeth. So these are the size of my meds I have to take. I have to take 2 every 6 hours. Normally this isn't something that would give me a hard time, but since the whole back of my freaking throat is raw right now, not really raw, has a scab back there, this can be proved. It's kind of difficult. And the weird thing about it is drinking water is hard. Did you hear my throat? That was tough. I'm not supposed to be coughing. Anyway, that was the pill portion. I was just reading the label of my medicine. May make you drowsy or dizzy. Do not drink alcohol with this drug. Use care when operating a vehicle, vessel, or other machines. Contains acetaminophen. Do not take more than recommended. Too much may cause liver damage. Discuss any questions with your doctor. Do not take other medications that have acetaminophen, prescription or non-prescription, without checking with your doctor. Taking more of this medication than recommended may cause serious breathing problems. Keep out of reach of children. Dang, that's a long list of things you have to be careful about with this guy. So, since I have a little bit of energy right now, my experience yesterday with getting anesthesia for the first time ever. I mentioned that I've never had surgery, I've never had a broken bone, I've never been hospitalized, and I'm very thankful for that. So I tried not to make myself nervous. I did watch some videos on YouTube only because I wanted to get a gauge of everything, and everybody's experience is going to be different. I will say that, and I do agree to that. But I tried to not stress out. I tried not to freak myself out, because if I do stress out, I get like breakouts and stuff like that. Not pimple breakouts, a different type of breakout. And so we checked in. I probably waited less than 30 minutes in the waiting room. Then they took me in the back. Had to do a urine sample to make sure I wasn't pregnant. Then from there I had to gown up, had to put on my gown. And it's so weird to be sitting there with just your underwear and a gown on. And it's a very humbling experience, I will say that. I didn't like it. The nurses were super nice, the doctors were really nice. I just don't like being that vulnerable. So waited there, and then they hooked up my IV, which I've never had an IV ever either. And then my hand, after a while, started getting cold, my arm. Didn't happen right away, it took like maybe 30 minutes. Then from there the doctors came in. They just verified, okay, so what's your name, what's your date of birth, what are we here for, that type of stuff, to make sure that we're all on the same page. It's kind of like a test, I guess. And then from there they wheeled me into the operating room, and even then I was like, okay, I know what's happening, but I'm not gonna make myself nervous. So when they were wheeling me in, I said bye to Sam, I gave him a kiss, and he went out to the waiting room, and they took me to the operating room, and I had to move over to the operating table, which was weird. So I remember the doctor, they had music playing and stuff like that. I remember they had the Bee Gees, and the anesthesiologist didn't know who, was performing the song, and he was like, who sings this? Is it John Travolta? Is it Olivia Newton-John? He was singing, and I was like, you don't know who sings this? He's like, no. I was like, the Bee Gees, like. And then the nurse was like, the look on her face was priceless. I can't believe you didn't know that. And so I was laying down. They put the oxygen over my face, and the doctor was asking if I was comfortable. I said, yeah. And I remember on the top of the ceiling there was like cartoon frogs. The doctor was just kind of waiting for the anesthesiologist to do his thing, and the nurse was asking if I was comfortable, if I was warm, and then I said yes, and they said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and take your hand, and then that's when they injected the first shot of the medicine that puts you to sleep, and I could feel it as soon as he felt it. Oh, thanks. As soon as he put it in, I felt it. It felt weird, not painful, but it wasn't like the most comfortable thing ever. I felt it go up my arm, and then I could feel it through my body. And then he stepped away for like a second or two, and he gave me another shot. And that one, I was like, ooh, I could feel it all the way to my toes. It was quick. And then I remember the oxygen mask. I could feel my eyelashes hitting it like this, and then I was just out. And then the next thing I knew, I remember I was coughing, and I felt like there was something in my mouth, but by that point I was in recovery. Sam said that I was only gone for 30 minutes, and that's what the doctor said. It was going to be about a 30-minute procedure. So he said Sam went out. That's when he vlogged. He went out, he vlogged a little bit, he watched 2 YouTube videos, and by then they called him back in that I was done. It really was like a second went by. So it's not, I guess elective surgery isn't as stressful, I guess. I don't know. I really hope this is the only surgery I'll ever need. But just remain calm. That's what I tried to do. And unless somebody was like, oh, they're coming, or, that's when I was like, but stay calm. It'll be okay. And it goes by fast. So that was my experience. Yours might be different, but that was how it was. Sam's getting ready for bed now.